Within this video, we're going to talk about the Sailvvay C-Series high accuracy pinpoint bait boat and the all-in-one controller. This bait boat has got so much tech, but it can also be as simple as you like. So we're going to dive into some of the details in this video, so stay tuned. So let's kick off with the bait boat itself. The bait boat does come with an all-in-one controller, but we'll save that for a little bit later on in the video. In regards to the hopper, you can hold up to 3 kilos of bait in this hopper. I personally use it as a single hopper, but you can also go into the settings, change the settings so you can drop the hopper separately, and it does come with a splitter. So if you want to drop some of your bait on the left side of the hopper and then drop a separate spot on the right side, you can do that as well. You'll see on the front of the boat you've got some lights. You've also got some indication lights on the back as well. So if you're fishing at night time, not only can you get to see under the overhanging trees or in caves, but you also know which way your bait boat is facing because the lights are different colours on the front and the back. Regarding the speed settings on the boat, you've got a slow speed, a medium speed and a fast speed, and it's just perfect for any situation, any lake you're fishing. I've taken this out in France. I've also been fishing smaller intimate waters, and sometimes you just want to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more careful, a little bit more quiet, and those speed settings are perfect for that. The batteries go in the side of the boat here. You've got one on either side. I've got the standard 10 amp batteries that it comes with. But to be honest with you, with the 10 amps, it runs for 2.5 hours, maybe give or take a little bit more. You can upgrade to the 20 amp batteries and you're going to get yourself a much longer session out of that. If you're somebody who's going away for a week and you just want to get a good few days of continuous use out of it before you have to recharge it, then definitely consider getting the upgrade. You've also got your rig clips on the back of the bait boat. So if you are somebody who likes to drop your rig separate to your bait, either push the boat forwards and then drop it, or you like to fish a little bit on the outside of your bait, then you can use your rig clips as well. You'll notice on top of the bait boat we've got this contraption here, and now this is the Sailvvay bait spreader, and it's super simple to use. You basically just attach it on the top, it clips on the top, it doesn't affect any of the other features, it doesn't affect the use of the bait boat or the bait in your hopper, but what it does add is a widespread bait spreader feature. So simply, if you're fishing out over a spot, you've probably got 3 or 4 days at least on the go and you want to get a big spread of bait out, that's typically when I'd use something like this. If I know it's a bait and weight situation, or if the fish are hungry or you've switched them on and you need to get the bait out there, then absolutely use this because it is a mega bit of kit. Simply fill the bait spreader up in the top, you wind up the bait spreader and you pull the little lever back, and as you close the hopper doors, it will keep the lever back, and when you drop your rig, it will also trigger the bait spreader and you'll get a really nice spread of bait around your trap. Right, let's talk about the all-in-one controller. The first thing to say, and I've said it before, is you can use this bait boat in such a simple way. And what I mean by that is you can send your bait boat out, drive it out there using one of the analogues, drop your bait with your rig and drive it back. But you can also use so many of the other cool features, and we'll start with the home button. So the first thing I will do prior to the home button, when I turn up at a lake, I'll pop the bait boat in the lake, I'll click the settings button, and the first thing you can do is calibrate the compass. So I'll calibrate the compass, it will spin round for a little bit, and it just makes sure that I know the GPS and the calibration of the compass is absolutely pinpoint correct. And then if I click the settings again, I'll go back, or I'll click the power button just once and it sends you back to the home page. And then I'll set my home point. So up here, you've got a house symbol, and all you do is once your bait boat is in the water, you go to this little button down here, which is your location and your spot saver button. You go on there, you double click the home button and it will save your home spot. I won't do it now because obviously the bait boat's out of the water, but we'll go through this. And it's really cool. So not only can you save the home, so when you are driving the bait boat out, you drop your rig, You click that button and your bait boat's going to come back to that spot whilst you're laying the line down and sinking the line. You're putting your rod down on your rod pod or your rod rest, and before you know it, your bait boat's sat there and you just need to drive it to the edge of the bank, pick it up on your stand, and you can move on to the next one. The next feature within regards to saving spots is actually the amount of spots you can save on top of your home spot as well. And you'll see you've got 40 locations that you can save on this screen. Not to say you're going to have 40 spots on a session, but if you're somebody who's going from one lake to another, you might pop to the syndicate and you've got a bit of a cycle, that's one way of using it. But then again, if you're fishing on one lake and you know you're in peg 1 on the Monday and the following week you try peg 2, and before you know it, you've gone around a few swims and you've got all your spots saved. And it's just super, super helpful to have that feature within the controller. We spoke a little bit about the speed as well. So when you go back to the home page, you'll see up the top left corner, you've got some icons, some little coloured lines. Currently I've got it on the highest speed, but just up the top here, you'll see a little speedometer symbol. You click that once, it will change it. So it's now on slow, medium speed, and high speed. Going down the settings on the left hand side, you've got your hopper button. Super simple to use. Click it once, hoppers will open, and then if you click it again, they will shut, but you can just wait and it will automatically shut, which is super cool, because once you've dropped your bait, you don't worry about whether the hopper's open or not. You just click the home button, that'll come back and the hoppers will shut on the way back. The next button on the left side is the rig dropper, and that is what controls the clips at the back of the boat. Click that once, that's the left side, double click it, and that's the right side. Simple as that. The next button underneath is a really cool feature, probably one of the best features about the C Series. And that is because it comes in with a fish finder. It's got a built-in GPS. On top of that, it's got a fish finder. So if you click that button here, it's going to open up the full screen. You can see the depths, you can see the contours of the bottom, you can even find fish. And for me personally, I dial my settings down in terms of sensitivity, because the only thing I want to get from that screen is if I'm fishing over snags, if I'm fishing over weed, silt, or if I found some clear spots. And other than that, I do still like to put a little bit of work in just to get that enjoyment out of fishing. But some people do want to know more, and especially if you're fishing in an intimate water, which is difficult, then I don't blame you. You know, get stuck into it, find out as much as you can, and sometimes that will actually help you nick a bite or not, whether you're using it or not. So definitely have a look at that and spend some time with it as well. Down here you've got the off button, the on button, it's in the same one. You've got the OK, the settings, we've already talked about the home, but then lastly, on the bottom right here, you've got that autopilot button. So if you're fishing a big lake, you want to send the boat out 150, 200 yards in one direction, just line the boat up, click the autopilot, and you can hear it now. She's going, you just click it again and that'll stop. That is pretty much majority of some of the basic, simple go-to features. Just to finish off, you can go into the settings, you can change around some of the features, you can change around some of the buttons and how you use it. So the good thing about that is you can make this bait boat and this all-in-one controller suit you. So whoever you are, if you do buy a C Series with an all-in-one controller, you've got no problems. You can make it work exactly how you want it to work. And the features, as I've talked about today, are limitless. Thank you so much for watching, really appreciate your time, and if you've got any questions about the C Series, then don't hesitate to either comment under this video, send us a message or an email, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions. For now, I'm going to carry on with my fishing trip, and we'll see you in the next video.